UK market going to be doing after 2035 is the big question. The government has proposed, obviously, lowering the zero carbon footprint, a massive priority. Well, where does that leave consumers, first of all? It is up for debate of how we're going to move forward as a country. Also, where does that leave gas engineers and the plumbing businesses of how we all move forward as a country? Essentially, what's been proposed is from things that I've read and conversations I've had with people within the industry and the data I found on the internet is heat pumps is definitely a possible direction where the country may be going, and also hydrogen boilers. The current natural gas coming into people's home has actually been there's actually 20% hydrogen mixed in with natural gas at the moment, and all natural gas boilers, the new ones that come out, the A-rated appliances, are being made to be 20% hydrogen ready. So what that actually means for the manufacturers of boilers and for consumers who are buying those boilers and gas engineers and gas companies that are installing those boilers is that's a ready mix. So the mix is already in there. The boilers are already compatible with that mixture, and potentially as we move forward, when there's a transition to go from natural gas to potential hydrogen boilers, then there's already a little bit of an infrastructure in place to be able to do that. A couple of years ago, when very much the same where the country moved from town gas to natural gas, and boilers had to have gas valves changed to be able to run off natural gas from town gas. So with hydrogen boilers and the government implementing hydrogen, it's going to cost the government around £8 billion a year to manufacture and supply the whole of the UK with hydrogen for hydrogen boilers to heat the consumers' homes. Well, obviously £8 billion a year is a lot of money, you know. So potentially there's a route that we could go down for that. I know up in Liverpool there's a couple of building sites that have hydrogen boilers already fitted in, and those sites have a storage bank or a big storage vessel, which is a hydrogen storage vessel that then supplies all those housing estates with hydrogen. Obviously, that is a very economical way of doing it, but it's a very costly way of doing it, which the government would have to take into their own hands and make that decision to be, okay, this is the most green or economical way to be able to provide the whole of UK with renewable energy. But it's very costly. The other route is potentially going down the heat pump route, where predominantly the infrastructure for heat pumps is already there because they run off electricity. We've also got the grid that supplies the whole network with electricity. Yes, there's still a lot of work that still needs to be going into the national grid for the whole of the UK to become more electric dependent. I believe we need to be fully electric, whether that's electric car chargers, electric boilers or heat pumps. I think the plans that would have to be in place, we'd have to have more nuclear plants to be able to run that just as a standard of a country, okay? But that is still going to be a lot cheaper than it would be to fully supply the UK with hydrogen, you know, and for the country to be supplied with hydrogen, it's going to cost about 8 billion. But whereas from my research, it's going to be about £2 billion for everyone to be able to go electric. That being said, the cost to the consumer is obviously going to be a lot less if it is hydrogen, because obviously we're not expected as a consumer then to put like a £15,000 to £20,000 heat pump installation into our home. We'd be able to go off the same infrastructure where hydrogen boilers will probably be anywhere between £3,000 and £5,000. But I know who's going to win that battle. If you ask me, common sense tells me if the government can get away without spending £8 billion and put the cost on to the consumer, pretty much that's what they're going to do. And so the common sense says that the cost will be passed on to the consumer. I'm pretty sure that £15,000 to £20,000 for the consumer for a full heat pump system and a full conversion onto that system will probably be the way that it's going to go, you know, because we've already got the electricity coming into our properties, and I believe that cost will come on to the consumer. But being said, if that cost is put onto the consumer, electricity at the moment costs around 4 times more than what natural gas does. So not only are we looking at that at the moment with the cost of utilities, at the moment, if we go fully electric and not natural gas, our bills are probably going to be around 4 times more expensive. If that's the case, the way that we can fight against that as the consumer is by putting solar panels and battery onto our roof again and using the natural resources that we have that don't cost anything to us to help lower our utilities. So in my opinion, I believe the way the industry's going after 2035, everyone will have to have heat pumps, or the most cost-effective thing that we'll be forced to do is having heat pumps with solar panels, working them in tandem and reducing our costs that way.